Hi everyone, it's Bethany, and in this tutorial I'm going to be creating a really cute coffee mug with some holographic vinyl. And I picked this up in one of my Cricut hauls, and when I showed this to you all, everyone was really excited about it. So I'm excited to do a little project with it to see how I like it as well, because if you remember, this is definitely stepping out of my comfort zone because it's just a little wild, but it's also really fun. So I'm excited to see how this turns out. I'm going to be using a little measuring tape to see the area that we have to work with on this little mug, and I got this at the Dollar Tree. It's a really nice little sturdy glass mug, and it looks so pretty when your coffee is poured inside. So it really just makes the design stand out once there's a nice little coffee poured in. So I really like them. I always pick up about a dozen when I go, and I haven't been quite a while, so I'm really thankful that I had a little stockpile. But this makes a really good gift as well. So I love this cup. Other things we're going to use are a scraper tool, weeding tool, and some scissors. And then I'm also going to be using some transfer tape, and I have a really random scrap piece of transfer tape that is left over from a lot of different projects. So this is a good reminder that coffee cups are a wonderful project to use scrap materials on, because usually your design is very small. So if you have some scrap materials that are smaller in nature, make sure you look through however you store your scrap material and see what scraps you can use. Again, this is a brand new roll, so I'm going to be using a brand new roll, but I'm going to use some scraps when it comes to my transfer tape. I'll link everything below in case you want to take another look at any of the materials I'm using, and if you want to shop the look to create this little project yourself. So let's hop into Design Space. Real quick, let me measure actually, and I think I have a short and skinny little design that's going to go on this, and so I want to do about, I would say, let's say 1.5, let's say 1 inch, and then maybe by 3 inches or 3.5. Okay, I'll take you into Design Space and show you the little file that we're working with, and I'm going to do a little bit of contouring just to make it look exactly how I want it, and then we'll get it all cut out and placed on the mug.
Okay, so here's the file that we're going to be using, and it's just called I Love My Mama if you want to search for it in the images section right over here. So I found this, and I actually am just going to use the mama. I really liked the text and how it looked, so I thought this would be really cute just to make a little mama mug. You can definitely keep the I Love Mine. You can make it for your mama. That'd be really cute, but I'm going to make this one for myself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to contour out what I don't need, and if you need a tutorial on contouring, you'll see it in this tutorial here, but if you need a little more in-depth look at this contour button, I'll place a link in the top corner for you so you can see a tutorial. So I'm going to drag this down. I like to drag it down when I do contouring just so I can still see it when I open up my contour box. But what contouring is it's simply going to allow you to click on the areas that you want to remove from the image, and it allows you to edit the image. So I'm going to just highlight over all of the little letters that I don't need, and then click, and it will remove them. Okay, so you'll see the little final result down here, and that's perfect. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably unlock this. I think I wanted to do about 1 inch in height by 3 inches. Let's see here. Okay, so I think I'm going to settle at about 4 inches by 1 inch in height because I don't want to distort it too much, and I like how that looks. So I can actually do 4 inches on this mug and it'll be just fine. So this is going to be my final little look. I'm just going to make this a nice pink color just so it's easier to see on the next screen. And then you can use this with any cutting machine, but I'm going to use my Explorer. So I'm just going to click Make It. And then what it'll do is it'll just place it right on my mat. I can click Continue, and it'll locate my little Explorer 2. So then I'm going to browse all materials, and I'm just going to see if there is a specific setting for the holographic. So I'm going to choose Premium Vinyl Holographic. We'll use that, and then I will select Done. Okay, so I'll use default pressure. I will go ahead and load my material on the mat, and we'll get to cutting this little design out.
Okay, so now I'm just going to unroll and show you this vinyl. I think I'm going to use this top one, which is, oh, it's long. Okay, so I'm going to use this one, I believe, and then what I'm going to do is show you the other one. So there's another sheet that's like more almost red and bright pink. It's hard to tell you the colors because it's holographic, so it kind of shifts in color. And then there's another one under here that is kind of an orange. So that's really, really wild. Super fun. Okay, so I'm going to use this one. I think it's going to be super pretty, and I love how that looks. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place it on my mat just like this. And I just like to place the whole roll on there. You can cut down to size if you know. You can just look at your mat on Cricut Design Space. It'll give you a little mat preview. And you can look at that and see what size you need. But I just do it this way and then cut down my scraps at the end. Okay, so I'm just going to open this up real quick and we can load it into our machine. Make sure it's all down nice. It's fun because every time you move it, it changes colors, so it keeps playing with my eye. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click cut, and that is going to cut out our little design. So now while that's doing the quick cut, I'm going to take some rubbing alcohol and just wash off my mug. And this is when you can decide which side of your mug you're going to use. So I'm right-handed, so I'm going to have my little handle on the right side. That way when I'm holding it, I can see my design right here. So you can decide which side you want to put it on. You can also do both if you like, so that you can enjoy it, but then whoever you're sitting with can also see your design. So it's up to you. But this is how I'm going to do mine. So you can decide. And I'm just going to make sure that that's nice and clean. Anything that was on the mug is now going to be taken off and removed, and it'll just give us a nice clean surface to work with. So that's done. And now I can unload this. Oh, that's really cute. Okay, so now I'm going to take this off. Just like that. And I can use my scissors. And I love the vinyl that has the little grids on the back because it helps me make a really straight line without having to grab my paper trimmer. So what I do is I just cut where my design is, and then I just take it to the back, and I can use the lines on the back to cut the rest. So I'll just make those little marks and cut this out. Okay, so now I'm just going to get this all weeded out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pierce a little corner with my weeding tool. And you want to be careful that you don't scratch the holographic vinyl that you are keeping. So just kind of be careful with your little weeding tool. And then I'm just going to remove all of the surrounding area. I think this is going to look really, really neat. I love how simple and classic this cup looks, and then paired with a really fun vinyl, I think will just be really neat. So I'm just going to take out the middle of these letters and, oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, so now that I have that, I'm just going to use this really tiny piece of transfer tape, and you can reuse this, so make sure you keep this little piece left over so you can place it right back on there. But what I'm going to do is and this is really small, but I can still use it because it doesn't matter if it covers the entire image perfectly, but it looks like it will. Oh, perfect. Okay. I was kind of doubtful that that would. Okay, so I'm going to grab my scraper tool. It's a great way to use little scrap pieces because that is a really tiny piece, but it's always perfect for something. So I'm just going to do the front and back and scrape that down, and then I'm going to just pull this off by placing it upside down and just removing the carrier sheet from the vinyl, and that will just leave it right on the transfer tape. So here is our final little design, and it's hard to kind of see with the transfer tape on there because it kind of makes it lose that holographic look for just a second, but you'll see it in a minute here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just grab a little piece of tape and steady my cup on my mat here. So I'm just going to do this and just kind of tape the inside lip of that right down to the mat, just like that, just to help steady it. Oops, I got that a little crooked. There we go, just like that. Just gonna help keep it there, and then I'm gonna put my little mouse right here just to kind of get it all steady. Okay, now I'm just gonna take my little design, and when I'm working with a curved surface, I like to just make little tiny slits in the vinyl, or not the vinyl, but the transfer tape here. And this just kind of helps when going down on a curved surface. It'll just help the transfer tape be a little bit more flexible. So when it meets a curved surface, it will allow it to kind of curve with the mug and can be very helpful. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give myself plenty of room to sip my coffee. So I'm just going to bring this down a little bit here. Okay. I think right about there looks good. Okay, perfect. So now I'm just going to take my finger here and just start rubbing and kind of getting that vinyl to lay down. So I'm just going to go through with my finger, and you can lift it and kind of shift it if you need to. So do that, perfect. And then I can take this off because now I have full control again. And I'm just going to go to the other side as well. Start just kind of laying down. Again, you can lift and reshift if you need to a little bit. Looks perfect. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is now I like to just go through with my fingers first and just kind of get it all laid down. And then I take my scraper and I really press down on that just to make sure we don't have any bubbles and that it lays really flat on the mug. It looks really good though. I can't wait to pull this transfer tape off and really appreciate that holographic look again. Okay, so now I'll just take a little corner and start peeling off. Oh, that looks really neat against the glass. I love how that looks. Oh, I love it because every time you move it, it kind of takes on a different color. So we have some bright pink, light pink, some orange. That's really cool. I like how that looks. It'll be really pretty with some coffee in there too. So I hope you enjoyed this. Holographic vinyl is really fun. It's a wonderful way to kind of make a statement on a piece that's a little bit more basic. So I love how this is just a really nice clear cup, and then you can make a really fun statement with some fun vinyl. So that was really fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this aside for a couple days. I like to really let my vinyl cure, and then what I do is I do not put it in the microwave, and I do not put it in the dishwasher, so hand wash only, and that will just help preserve the life of the vinyl on there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please give it a thumbs up if you found this fun and helpful. I think it turned out really, really neat. It's really fun in person too. So make sure you let me know what you're working on, and if you're working on any coffee mugs or if you have made anything fun recently, and I will see you guys on the next video.